Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Trans India. Real people, real emotions. This week on Trans India, we will be featuring two very exclusive guests. One is Mr. Ramratan Singhi, the founder and managing director of Sure Group, who will take us through his journey in the road transport industry. Also, we'll be showing you excerpts from the speech of Mr. Nitin Gadkari made in the Parliament, where he spoke about various initiatives taken for infrastructure development in the country. Mr. Nitin Gadkari, while addressing the Parliament, spoke about various issues, right from GPS system for toll collection, roadside amenities on highways, removing black spots, improving road safety. All this and more coming up after this very short break. Stay tuned. You are watching Trans India. Real people, real emotions. See you on the other side of this very short break.
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका ब्लेजो एक्स सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, वरना कर दीजिए ट्रक वापस।
सॉरी अजय, महिंद्रा फ्यूरियो है। एक्शन।
महिंद्रा गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका फ्यूरियो सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, नहीं तो
एक्चुअली जयो, महिंद्रा जयो है, थोड़ा चेंज है। एंड एक्शन।
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका जियो सबसे चल क्या रहा है यहाँ पे?
मैम, ये चारों ट्रक ज्यादा माइलेज देते हैं, चारों।
तो ऐसा बोलो ना, ब्लेजो एक्स, फ्यूरियो, फ्यूरियो 7 और जयो। महिंद्रा के ये सभी ट्रक्स देते हैं सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज की गारंटी, नहीं तो कर दीजिए इन्हें वापस। महिंद्रा, देश की सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देने वाली ट्रक रेंज।
Welcome back, friends. I am Girish Mirchandani and you are watching Trans India. Real people, real emotions. Addressing the Parliament earlier this week, Mr. Nitin Gadkari spoke about a lot of initiatives taken by his ministry to improve the road network as well as road safety in the country. Listen to what he had to say.
हमने काफ़ी नई टेक्नोलॉजी लाई है और टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग करेंगे, मैं उस पर जाता नहीं। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टोल का 97% कलेक्शन हो गया है। अब मैं जीपीएस सिस्टम लाना चाहता हूँ। टोल ही नहीं रहेंगे। अब टोल नहीं रहेंगे तो कुछ अखबार वाले लिख देते कि टोल खत्म होगा। टोल नहीं खत्म होगा। इफ यू वांट गुड सर्विसेज यू हैव टू पे फॉर इट। मुझे लोग पूछते टोल कब माफ करोगे? मैंने बोला तुम यहाँ 5 स्टार होटल में कार्यक्रम करते हो तो क्या फुकट में मिला क्या आपको? अगर फुकट में करना था तो रामलीला मैदान पर बैठना था। जब यहाँ बुलाते हो तो पैसा देना पड़ेगा। तो अभी जीपीएस सिस्टम है और आपके गाड़ी में जीपीएस लगा देंगे, अब मैंडेटरी कर दिया, और वहां से रिकॉर्ड होगा आपने कहां से एंट्री की, कहां से निकले, और आपके बैंक अकाउंट से पैसा जाए, कोई आपको अड़ाएगा नहीं, कुछ नहीं। तो उसको भी लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम वेस्ट साइड एम्यूनिटीज बना रहे हैं 650, जहां हेलीकॉप्टर उतरेगा, ड्रोन उतरेगा। और महिला सदस्यों के लिए मैं सबसे अच्छी बात कहूंगा कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में हाईवे पर जाओ, महिलाओं को टॉयलेट है, महिलाओं के लिए वॉशरूम्स है। अगर छोटा बच्चा है तो उसको दूध पिलाने के लिए स्पेशल रूम है। हिंदुस्तान में एक भी जगह नहीं है। हमने ये मैंडेटरी किया और आज मुझे बताते खुशी हो रही है कि हर 40 किलोमीटर पर ट्रॉमा सेंटर बनाएंगे। बता दो, वो भी आवश्यक है। हम 650 रोड साइड एम्यूनिटीज बना रहे हैं और हर जगह पर महिलाओं के लिए स्पेशल टॉयलेट होंगे। और जो महिला अपने बच्चों को दूध पिलाना चाहती होगी वो रूम में अंदर जाकर एसी में बैठकर वहां दूध पिला सकेगी। इसकी अरेंजमेंट भी की है और 1 साल में अंदर ये पूरे होंगे। इसमें फ्यूएल स्टेशन होगा, ईवी चार्जिंग स्टेशन होगा, रेस्ट रूम होंगे, बेबी केयर सेंटर्स होंगे, डॉर्मेट्री, ट्रक ड्राइवर्स होंगे, कन्वेंशन सेंटर, ट्रॉमा सेंटर भी होंगे। और इतना ही नहीं, तो ऑर्गन डोनेशन के लिए हेलीकॉप्टर एम्बुलेंस आएगी, एक्सीडेंट में जो जख्मी हुए उनको लेके जाएगी और 6 घंटे के अंदर उनका, अगर वो बेचारे अगर जिंदा नहीं रह सके तो उनके आंखें, उनका हार्ट, उनका लीवर, सब ऐसे लोगों को दिए जाएंगे, उनको नया जीवन मिलेगा। इसकी भी व्यवस्था की है, ये भी करेंगे। ऑलरेडी कुछ जगह चालू भी हुआ है। और आप लोगों ने भी कल मुझे सुझाव दिया ना, मैंने 2 सुझाव आपके स्वीकार किए। एक किसी ने कहा, मैं नाम भूल रहा हूं, अध्यक्ष महाराज, उन्होंने कहा आधार कार्ड के ऊपर, शायद श्रीनिवास पाटिल जी ने कहा था, आधार के कार्ड के ऊपर, जिसके बाद आधार का कार्ड और वहां टोल है, तो आधार का कार्ड देखकर मानकर उसको तुरंत पास इशू किया जाए। तो मैं सजेशन मान्य करता हूं, जहां भी ऐसे टोल बने और वहां के स्थानिक लोगों की अड़चन होती है, आधार कार्ड को लेकर पास बना कर देंगे। दूसरा एक है कि 60 किलोमीटर के बीच में टोल नहीं आता है और कुछ जगह चालू है। मैं आज सदन को विश्वास दिलाता हूं, बहुत बार ये गलत काम हो रहा है, इलीगल है। मैं बार बार कहता हूं पर पैसे मिलते इसलिए डिपार्टमेंट हाँ करते हो, हाँ। ये इनका कितने दिन मेरे से झगड़ा किया इन्होंने, पुलिस जी ने बहुत। अब मैं बता रहा हूं कि इसके बाद 3 महीने के अंदर 60 किलोमीटर के अंदर एक ही टोल नाका होगा, दूसरा होगा तो वो बंद किया जाएगा। क्योंकि लोगों को जरूर है कि हमें पैसा भी चाहिए, इसका मतलब लोगों को तकलीफ नहीं देनी चाहिए। फारूक साहब, मैं आपको अनुरोध करूंगा, केवल जम्मू कश्मीर में हम 60,000 करोड़ के काम कर रहे हैं। अभी जो झोजिला टनल बन रही है, मैं पहली बार मुझे सौभाग्य मिला कि आपका कश्मीर में जन्नत है, कितना सुंदर है। और कारगिल के नीचे पहाड़ी पर ऊपर बाबा अमरनाथ का वो दिखता था और वहां से मैं टनल का निरीक्षण कर रहा था। और पूरा लद्दाख और लेह से लेकर श्रीनगर आने तक कितनी कठिनाइयां थी। अब वो झेड़मोर भी टनल पूरी हो रही है। जोजिला टनल में इस समय 1000 लोग अंदर जाकर काम कर रहे हैं -8 डिग्री में, और 2026 का काम पूरा होने की डेट थी। मैंने उनको कहा कि 24 के पहले पूरा करो, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक ऐतिहासिक काम हो जाएगा। लद्दाख और लेह में आने के पहले अगर हम शिमला से हम लोग अगर मनाली तक जाते हैं, तो मनाली में हमारी टनल बनी है, अटल टनल। पहले 3.5 घंटे लगते थे, अब 8 मिनट में जा रहे हैं। और वहां से अटल टनल से निकलने के बाद हिमालय के ऊपर से वही इतना सुंदर है, जो तो मैं अपने आंखों में पूरी तरह समा नहीं सका, कि पूरे वहां 4 टनल बना रहे हम लद्दाख लेह पर आने के लिए, रोड बना रहे, पूरा काफी बना है। और लद्दाख लेह से डायरेक्ट कारगिल, कारगिल से झेड़मोर, और झेड़मोर से श्रीनगर, और श्रीनगर से फिर श्रीनगर से जम्मू के बीच में हम लोग बड़ा हाईवे बना रहे हैं, उसमें 5 टनल बना रही है। काफी कुछ काम पूरा हुआ है। और आज मुझे बताते हुए खुशी हो रही सम्माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, कि वहीं ये जब टनल हमारी यहां से श्रीनगर से हम जम्मू की तरफ जाएंगे, तो उसके बीच में कटरा के पहले हम जो दिल्ली से कटरा, दिल्ली अमृतसर कटरा एक्सप्रेस हाईवे का काम शुरू हो गया है। अब कश्मीर के भी काम अवार्ड हो गए हैं, और वहां से लेकर हम कटरा से पूरा श्रीनगर से वापस हम अमृतसर के द्वारा दिल्ली आएंगे, और दिल्ली मुंबई को हाईवे को लग जाएंगे। तो मैं आपको ये विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि लद्दाख और लेह से हम लोग श्रीनगर आने के बाद, श्रीनगर से डायरेक्ट वहां से निकलकर हम मुंबई चले जाएंगे। और मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि ये साल समाप्त होने के पहले मेरी कोशिश होगी कि श्रीनगर से आप 20 घंटे के अंदर मुंबई पहुंच जाओगे, ऐसा काम हो। हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है कि दिल्ली से जयपुर, इसमें रोड इंजीनियरिंग का भी कारण है। मैं अपने डिपार्टमेंट की जिम्मेदारी लेता हूं। ब्लैक स्पॉट्स, आपने सही कहा, ये डीपीआर बनाने में क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं है, और इसलिए रोड सेफ्टी को ध्यान में लेकर मैंने कहा ये डीपीआर वाली आउटडेटेड सिस्टम को बंद करो, और पीएमसी, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टेंसी लाओ। और इसको प्रोफेशनल, इस समय जो वर्ल्ड के कंसल्टेंट थे वो भाग गए हमारे यहां से। तो मैंने हमारे अधिकारियों को पूछा कि तुम्हारा हार्ट ऑपरेशन करना है तो टेंडर निकाल के कारपोरेशन के हॉस्पिटल में क्यों नहीं जाकर अपना ऑपरेशन करते हो? तब आपको ऑपरेशन करना होता है तो आपको अच्छा डॉक्टर चाहिए। डीपीआर बनाते समय लोएस्ट आता है उसको, तो वो जो सब घटिया काम करता है। तो अब इसके बारे में हमने डीपीआर बनाने के बारे में काफी सुधार किया है, और वर्ल्ड की बेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, बेस्ट कंपनी को ज्वाइंट वेंचर करके जो बेस्ट सक्सेसफुल प्रैक्टिसेस है उसको लाना है। मैं तो अक्सर ये बात कहता हूं कि इनोवेशन, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, रिसर्च, स्किल्ड एंड सक्सेसफुल प्रैक्टिसेस, वी नेम इट एज ए नॉलेज, एंड कन्वर्शन ऑफ नॉलेज इनटू वेल्थ इज द फ्यूचर। लेन बनाते तो भी 1 ही किलोमीटर काउंट करते हैं, हम 6 लेन बनाते तो भी 1 ही किलोमीटर काउंट करते हैं, हम 4 लेन बनाते तो भी 1 लेन काउंट करते हैं। और उसी के आधार पर हमने पिछले साल 38 किलोमीटर पर डे हमने ये रोड बनाया। और मैं अध्यक्ष महाराज आपको बताते हुए मुझे खुशी हो रही कि इस देश के लिए हमें इसका अभिमान है कि हमारे विभाग ने 4 वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाए। पहला वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड ये कि 38 किलोमीटर पर डे रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन, कोई इसमें ऐसा कोई हमने कई गलत फिगर नहीं बनाई, जो रिकॉर्ड था उसी से बनाया। उल्टा वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में 8 होगा किलोमीटर बनाया लेन तो बोलते 8 किलोमीटर बना है। हम 8 किलोमीटर को 1 किलोमीटर कह रहे, जो यूपीए सरकार में पद्धति वैसी पद्धति से बनाया। 38 किलोमीटर हाईएस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड। दूसरा हमने किया अभी जस्ट 1 वीक एगो, वी कंस्ट्रक्टेड रोड लेंथ ऑफ 50 किलोमीटर सिंगल लेन इन 100 आवर्स, longest length of flexible pavement DBM course road construction in 100 hours, world record हो गया। This record happened on the section of Delhi Vadodara greenfield alignment in पंचमहाल district of गुजरात। फिर दूसरा रिकॉर्ड हुआ जो है 1.38 किलोमीटर, ये तो अभी बताया मैंने आपको। ये जो कंस्ट्रक्शन का है ये दूसरा रिकॉर्ड हुआ 2.5 किलोमीटर लॉन्ग 4 लेन सीमेंट कॉन्क्रीट रोड नियर वडोदरा इन 24 आवर। 4 लेन 2.5 किलोमीटर का रोड हमने केवल 24 घंटे में बनाया। बाद में 26 किलोमीटर सिंगल लेन बिटवीन रोड सोलापुर बीजापुर सेक्शन NH 52 21 घंटे में बनाया। तो मुझे खुशी है कि हमारे देश में निश्चित रूप से काफी बड़े प्रमाण पर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर की टेक्नोलॉजी में भी सुधार हो रहा है। सर, आप बहुत से लोगों ने क्वालिटी के बारे में कहा, मैं बहुत बार ये कह चुका हूं कि हमारे रोड हमारे प्रॉस्पेरिटी के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं और इसीलिए मैं जब से इस क्षेत्र में काम कर रहा हूं, जॉन केनेडी, इनका एक वाक्य मैं हर समय याद रखता हूं और उन्होंने कहा था कि अमेरिकन रोड्स आर नॉट गुड बिकॉज अमेरिका इज रिच, बट अमेरिका इज रिच बिकॉज अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड। और मैं इसी बात पर भारत को आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने का, सुखी समृद्ध संपन्न शक्तिशाली हिंदुस्तान बनाने का जो संकल्प प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने किया है, उसके आधार पर मैं इस सदन को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि 2024 समाप्त होने के पहले हिंदुस्तान का रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अमेरिका के बराबर होगा, ये विश्वास मैं दिलाना चाहता हूं।
Well friends, Mr. Nitin Gadkari has made a lot of announcements and going by his past records, he ends up fulfilling most of them. So let us wait and watch what impact will these changes have on the road transport industry on the whole. Coming up after this very short break, our exclusive interview with Mr. Ramratan Singhi of the Show Group. You're watching Trans India, real people, real emotions.
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका ब्लेजो एक्स सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, वरना कर दीजिए ट्रक वापस।
सॉरी अजय, महिंद्रा फ्यूरियो है। एक्शन।
महिंद्रा गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका फ्यूरियो सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, नहीं तो
एक्चुअली जयो, महिंद्रा जयो है, थोड़ा चेंज है। एंड एक्शन।
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका जियो सबसे। चल क्या रहा है यहाँ पे?
मैम, ये चारों ट्रक ज्यादा माइलेज देते हैं, चारों।
तो ऐसा बोलो ना, ब्लेजो एक्स, फ्यूरियो, फ्यूरियो 7 और जयो। महिंद्रा के ये सभी ट्रक्स देते हैं सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज की गारंटी, नहीं तो कर दीजिए इन्हें वापस। महिंद्रा, देश की सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देने वाली ट्रक रेंज।
Welcome back friends to Trans India, real people, real emotions. In our interaction segment today, we will be talking to a very interesting person. The road transport industry, as we have always been saying, is a very challenging business. But what we also must tell our viewers is that road transport is also a very interesting business. There is so much to do every day. There is so much scope for growth, so much potential. It was these aspects of the road transport industry that brought Ramratan Singhi into the road transport industry. Ram is a first generation transporter heading the Sure Group. But it was not by accident that Ram got into the road transport industry. Ram was providing security solutions for cargo carried in trucks. It was during that time that he realized that the road transport industry had so much more potential. In fact, Ram's journey is such that it can be taught at B schools, and those aspiring to enter the road transport industry surely need to take a look at how Ram got into this business. As we said earlier, Ram, while interacting with transporters and the transport industry, saw huge potential in this business. Of course, like many other people, he was attracted by the road transport industry. But he didn't just go out there, buy trucks and start a transport company. He spent months strategizing and planning his business. right from picking the right truck that suits his requirements up to picking the right segment that had more potential for growth. Today we will be talking to Ramratan Singhi. The founder and managing director of Sure Group, a man who loves his coffee, and even today, before coming to office, he spends 1 hour at a coffee shop, sipping his 2 shots of espresso and strategizing and planning his next move. So let's dive into our interaction with Ram and see how Sure Group started and what are his plans. Ram, tell us about the Sure Group, how it all started, how did you get into the logistics, especially the trucking space, and what kind of research did you get into before diving into this vast segment?
Hello Girish, first of all thanks for coming and giving us an opportunity to share our views on the industry as well as on our group through your channel Trans Topics, and we are always looking forward to your videos because it brings a lot of industry insights. At the same time, it also highlights a lot of challenges that the industry is facing. So thanks to you and your team and your efforts. Coming to Sure Group, Sure Group started in 2008 on 15th Feb 2008. So this is like our 14th anniversary, and we started initially our business segment is industrial packaging or transport packaging. Within this, what we do is we essentially secure the cargo for the customer inside an export container or on a truck to prevent transit damage. When we were doing this business for quite a few years, around 2013, we were sitting with a team from Blue Dart and we were discussing a certain cargo securing solution. So during the conversation, Team Blue Dart told us that, look guys, your solutions are great, but these need to be installed inside trucks, and to get them installed inside trucks, it's very difficult because we operate with a fleet which is mostly not owned trucks. So that's why we cannot install the solutions. So if you want to show your solutions, one way to go forward is if you can put up a few trucks, install your solutions and then show it to us. So this was March 2013, and we just thought, is it really possible for us to get into trucking? So we analyzed our business, and for whatever industrial packaging business volume or of business available to us was at that point in time, we said we are at about 13 crores in top line. If we continue doing this business for next 10 years, maybe we'll reach 30-40 crores. That kind of growth we can expect. The total market size is 200 crores. So where do you go from here? So we started to explore trucking, and when we were doing analysis for the trucking business in 2013, it looked quite promising because there were a lot of research reports which said that the Indian long haul trucking market is going to kind of grow very fast, simply because of a couple of disruptions which were expected in 2013. One of that was, of course, the GST, which was under discussion at that point in time, but it was quite promising that a lot of state borders would go out, and therefore you could have a more seamless transportation for long haul. So we thought, okay, that looks promising. The other thing was that most of the transporters at that point in time were using the fleet from existing OEMs. But there was this new company which had just came to India. It was Daimler India Commercial Vehicles. So we looked at Daimler and their trucks and their fleet of product portfolio, and we started to study their trucks a little bit more in depth to understand how Daimler trucks can be used for long haul trucking and what are the pros and cons. So we sat with those numbers and we said, okay, the trucking market as a whole at that point in time, by some research reports, estimated to be 2 lakh crore market. So you were in like a small pond versus a big ocean. Now you are playing in a bigger arena. Also, trucking is a core sector, whereas packaging is good sector, but it's not exactly a core sector of the economy. So once you enter into a core sector of the economy, then you have unlimited potential for growth. So that is how we thought that we should enter trucking, and that's how in March 2013 we took a strategic decision that we should invest in a few trucks. Blue Dart was ready to support us with load plans, so we started in 2013.
Ram, this was a well-planned strategic move to go with only Bharat-Benz trucks. Of course, you did your research. What was the thought process behind this?
Yeah, it took us like 1 month of continuous thought process, internal discussions to arrive at conclusion that we should really pitch into trucking or not. But as I said, because we were doing transport securing, cargo securing, we were always connected with transporters in some ways or the other. So we were meeting these transporters, we were seeing their operations, we were seeing how they would discuss on various aspects of the industry. So somewhere in the background all of this was known, that what are the problems, what are the issues, what kind of challenges are there most of the transporters are facing. So yeah, in that way you can say there was some background to it, but the real research we did in the month of March 2013, and that was how we came to a conclusion that we should start the trucking business. And we selected the product that was Bharat Bench for our launch or into trucking business. This was a kind of a strategy which was little different than the typical transporters. So a typical transporters would take a truck from the established OEMs. Daimler was just beginning in India, but our research showed that Daimler trucks which are available globally, they typically run 20 lakh kilometers in their life cycle. The Indian trucking industry at that point in time the first owner, as they call it, would do about 4 to 5 lakh kilometers. So we saw a huge potential gap, so 4 to 5 lakh kilometers versus 20 lakh kilometers. So we said, okay, if there is a truck that can be run 20 lakh kilometers, this was the data from Brazil, we adjusted that particular data for Indian conditions, and we said, look, we should be able to do 10 lakh kilometers quite easily. And as we speak, in April of 2022, one of the first trucks that we bought will cross 10 lakh kilometers.
Ram, what were the key parameters that attracted you to the road transport industry and gave you the nod, okay, let's get into this now?
So I think one was the growth potential that was coming from a lot of these research reports during that period. That propelled us to think that if we have to grow fast and if we have to make a bigger impact, we should get into the core sector of the economy. So one was that growth potential. Second was this challenge of improving the efficiency of the truck utilization. So we saw that at the time that we initiated trucking business in 2013, an average Indian truck in long haul would do about 6,500 kilometers, and we questioned ourselves that why 6,500 kilometers, why not more? And we got some reasons why this is 6,500 kilometers, and what are the bottlenecks in going for higher target. So we were quite confident that we could probably achieve 10,000 kilometers per truck per month kind of utilization, with better turnaround, with better load planning, and also with a better quality of truck. So we also discussed this point with Blue Dart, and Blue Dart also supported us, saying that okay, we will give you load on both the sides. You go ahead and bring the trucks on the road. And to give you an anecdotal piece, in October 2013, when we had 10 trucks on road, we did that particular month, every truck crossed 10,000 kilometers. So we achieved our first 1 lakh kilometer monthly running in October 2013. So this was possible with double drivers, with good monitoring of TAT, and with good load planning.
Well, Ram, the road transport industry has more than often been called an unorganized segment. Even though we have some organized players today, the industry on the whole still continues to remain unorganized. How did you overcome this challenge, and how did you plan to organize your company?
So again, I will refer to those the research reports. Most were pointing to the fact that while road transportation in India is a fragmented industry, and there are various reasons why it is fragmented, primarily being there are very low entry barriers in this industry. So any industry which has got low entry barriers, you will typically find is the easiest to start with, and loans are easily available for first time transporters compared to any other business. So this is the reason that it is fragmented, apart from many other reasons. So yes, you are right that it is fragmented. It was fragmented in 2013. Since 2013 till 2022, many companies have tried to consolidate, but there have been challenges, and we saw that how some of the industry players who built very large fleet could not sustain or survive, and therefore some went bankrupt and some other sold off their fleet. And therefore even today the scenario has not changed much from what it was in 2013. So consolidation in the industry is difficult. We are trying to base our business model on value addition. One of the value additions we offer when we offer our truck is our cargo securing knowledge, is our ability to secure the cargo, eliminate transit damage. So to an extent this particular aspect does work, because transit damage, to give you a number from certain industry research reports, contributes to between 2 to 3% loss in the total transport ecosystem. We are just targeting that 2 to 3% to be brought down to 0.1 to 0.2%. So by using our trucks, by using our cargo securing knowledge, I think we have a very strong offering which makes value proposition for the customer.
Well friends, the road transport industry has not been something new for Ram. He had been interacting with transporters, he had been providing security systems for cargo. So what is the business model of the Sure Group and how important is it to secure goods in transit? We'll continue our conversation with Ramratan Singhi after this very short break. You are watching Trans India, real people, real emotions.
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका ब्लेजो एक्स सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, वरना कर दीजिए ट्रक वापस।
सॉरी अजय, महिंद्रा फ्यूरियो है। एक्शन।
महिंद्रा गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका फ्यूरियो सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देता है, नहीं तो
एक्चुअली जयो, महिंद्रा जयो है, थोड़ा चेंज है। एंड एक्शन।
महिंद्रा ये गारंटी देते हैं कि उनका जियो सबसे चल क्या रहा है यहाँ पे?
मैम, ये चारों ट्रक ज्यादा माइलेज देते हैं, चारों।
तो ऐसा बोलो ना, ब्लेजो एक्स, फ्यूरियो, फ्यूरियो 7 और जयो, महिंद्रा के ये सभी ट्रक्स देते हैं सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज की गारंटी, नहीं तो कर दीजिए इन्हें वापस। महिंद्रा, देश की सबसे ज्यादा माइलेज देने वाली ट्रक रेंज।
Welcome back friends to Trans India, real people, real emotions. We are in conversation with Ramratan Singhi, the founder and managing director of the Sure Group. Ram, what is the current strength of the Sure Group in terms of vehicles, in terms of geographies?
So to give you a perspective, we started 2013, we added 10 trucks, 2014 we added 10, 2015 we added 10, 2017 we added few trucks, 2018 we were 100 trucks strong, 19 and 20 we didn't add too many trucks, and as we speak today we are at 110 trucks. So for short transportation business segment, we have projected that for the year 2022 we see is a breakout year for us. So we have a slogan that 220 by 2022, which means by the end of 2022 we should reach a fleet size of 220. One of the reasons we think that we are in that particular phase of growth is because now we have established ourselves in the long haul trucking market. Primarily we are a north to south, south to north player, but having said that, we do operate from pan India basis, but from major industrial hubs and amongst the major industrial cities. So we do, let's say, from Mumbai to Kolkata, Kolkata to Mumbai, we do from NCR to Pune, Pune to NCR, we do from the western part of India like Pune and Bhiwandi to south, and from south to east. So we are now covering all the four corners, and our strategy is to remain in these four corners and along the GQ and along the length and breadth of the GQ. So that is where we would play our long haul strength. And yeah, we are at that level where we have achieved a top line of this year. We will close at 50 crores. Hopefully in the coming year, our target in 2022 is to touch a turnover of 100 crores.
Ram, what's the kind of cargo you carry, and deliberately you have chosen to go with 32 feet multi-axle container trucks. What's the thought process behind this?
Yeah. In terms of cargo, we have also specialized our company to deal in 32 feet multi-axle container segments. So if you know, trucking segments has got various sub-segments. So you have trailer segments, and then you have let's say single axle segments, and then you have e-commerce is one more vertical which is coming up very fast. We also have few trucks dedicated for e-commerce, but our understanding of the industry at the moment is that 32 feet multi-axle container segment gives us the best return on investment, and it's also one of the segment where you have multiple options to run your trucks, so you don't get stuck with a one particular industry segment or one particular load type. So that is the reason we have built our fleet on 32 feet multi-axle container segment. And within this, if you think of the cargos, so our major segment chunk of business comes from consumer electronics, Then it comes from FMCG, somewhat it also comes from part load express logistics, and also we do a lot of other automobile parts, automobile long haul trucking in terms of tires, etc. So it's a chunk of all of that. For 2022, what we have done is we are consolidating a lot of our business into chemical sector. So our vision going forward is that when you look at cargo safety and trucking, chemical sector, or the liquids as we call it. So when we say liquids, it includes lubricants, it includes paints, it includes liquid chemicals, it includes some powdered chemicals. We say this segment does give you a certain value to the safety of the cargo. And what we did recently with one of our customers was he was doing about 150 load plants a month. We discussed with them about their potential business, and they said that we are facing problems of transit damage in about 30 to 40 of plants every month. So we said, okay, let us do few trials with you with our cargo restraint system, and we did our trucking for them. 3 load plants have been done so far. They found all have been reached without any damage because the material was secured, and now we are talking with them for a long-term contract. And so this is where we are focusing on. For 2022, our focus is chemicals and liquids.
So what is Namaste India all about, and what were the learnings of Ram? We'll know more about Namaste India in our episode coming up next Sunday as we continue our interaction with Ramratan Singhi. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next week, stay safe. Jai Hind.